The invoice system built into the gateway can be helpful for merchants who want to be able to send invoices to customers via email to collect payments. To send an invoice, you hit Add Invoice from the main menu, and then you have to include an invoice amount. How much will the customer be paying? We'll say $50. I can set the terms of the invoice, when it's due, either upon receipt or 30, 60, or 90 days. I can select many other variables on the page, including what payment methods are available. So if I only want to accept credit card over this payment, I can uncheck electronic check, and that will force them to pay with a credit card. I'm going to enable both. And going down the list, it looks very similar to a sale page, where I can enter as much or as little information as I'd like. I must enter an email address here, so that we have somewhere to send this invoice. Everything else is optional, and I can include as much or as little as I'd like. When I'm ready to send, I can hit Create Invoice, and that sends the invoice. So now the customer will have that invoice in their inbox, and now I'm just waiting for them to pay. I can go back to the invoice to see all of the information about it. I can see when it was created and its current status. It's currently open. I can see the balance, and I can make edits to any of the information that was already there. After making an edit, I can resend the invoice. If you want to look at your current invoices, you can go to List Invoices from the main menu, and we give you a search field. You can fill out as much as you would like, or just search for the date range. I'll search for the current month. And that shows 2 invoices. I have one older one that was done earlier in the month, and then this one today. We have all the invoices marked, so any highlighted in yellow will be past due, red will be closed, and green will be paid. If there's no highlighting, it means that that invoice is still open. There are a couple actions here. I can resend the invoice to the email on file. I can close the invoice, or I can pay the invoice. And if I click on Pay Invoice, it'll ask me, am I doing credit card or check? I'll do credit card. And you're taken to a page that looks very similar to a sale page. And here you can manually enter a payment for this invoice. We'll enter some information. And then when I hit Charge, that processes the payment. I can see transaction successful. And if I go back to my list of invoices, I can go over here to include my paid invoices and hit Submit. And there it is. I can see that it's highlighted in green now to show that it's been paid. There's a $0 balance, and it was $50. In the event that the customer is going to pay via the email that you send out, that email will have a link that they can click, and they will be taken through a checkout page to pay the amount that you set up in the invoice. This page is hosted by the gateway, and you do not need to create any websites or anything for your customers to pay on. The email also has a PDF attachment of the invoice if the customer needs to print that for any reason or save it for their records.